In the heart of the American frontier, a vast and tamed wilderness stretched as far as the eye could see. It was the dawn of the 19th century, a time of exploration and expansion. But in the winter of 1811, this land of promise would unleash a force of nature so powerful it would rewrite the very landscape. This is the story of the New Madrid earthquakes, one of the most violent seismic events in North American history. December 16, 1811, in the small, bustling river port of New Madrid. Located in what is now Missouri, life was proceeding as usual. Settlers, trappers, and traders went about their daily business, unaware of the cataclysm brewing deep beneath their feet. At approximately 2:15 in the morning, the world erupted. The ground began to heave and roll in great waves, like a stormy sea. Log cabins, built to withstand the harshest weather, were splintered and thrown to the ground as if they were made of twigs. The air filled with the deafening roar of the earth and the terrified cries of people and animals. This was no ordinary earthquake. The shaking was felt over an immense area, from the Gulf of Mexico to Canada, from the eastern seaboard to the Rocky Mountains. Church bells reportedly rang in Boston, and sidewalks cracked in Washington, D.C. For the people at the epicenter, it was a scene of pure terror. Giant cracks, or fissures, ripped open the earth, some stretching for miles and swallowing everything in their path. Geysers of sand and water erupted from the ground, a phenomenon now known as liquefaction, turning solid ground into a soupy and stable mess. The seismic zone responsible. The New Madrid seismic zone is not located on a typical tectonic plate boundary like the San Andreas Fault. Instead, it's a failed rift, a deep scar in the North American continent's crust. Ancient faults, buried deep beneath the Mississippi River's thick sediment, had suddenly reawakened with ferocious energy. The first major shock on December 16 was just the beginning. The region was rocked by a series of powerful main shocks and thousands of aftershocks that would continue for months. The next great quake struck on January 23, 1812. It was just as powerful, if not more so, than the first. Once again, the land convulsed, toppling any structures that had miraculously survived the December event. Forests were flattened, and the landscape was permanently altered. Giant landslides cascaded down the river bluffs, taking huge chunks of land with them. But the most incredible and terrifying spectacle occurred on the mighty Mississippi River. Eyewitness accounts from flatboat crews who navigated the river's treacherous currents described a scene straight out of a nightmare. The river, America's great artery, seemed to boil. The force of the uplift from the earthquake was so immense that it created temporary waterfalls and rapids where none had existed before. In some areas, the riverbed was thrust upward so violently that the Mississippi appeared to flow backward for a short period. Boats were thrown from the water, smashed against newly formed obstacles, or simply swallowed by whirlpools that opened in the river's channel. Islands that had been landmarks for river pilots vanished beneath the waves, while new ones rose from the depths. The final and most violent of the main shocks occurred on February 7, 1812. This event is considered by many seismologists to be the most powerful of the entire sequence, possibly reaching a magnitude of 8.0 or higher. This quake was responsible for the most dramatic topographical changes. It created Reelfoot Lake in northwestern Tennessee, a large, shallow lake formed when the land subsided and the Mississippi River flowed in to fill the depression. The town of New Madrid itself was utterly destroyed, with the land beneath it sinking several feet. The surviving residents were left homeless, stranded in a transformed and hostile wilderness. For the indigenous peoples of the region, like the Chickasaw and Choctaw, the earthquakes were a profound and terrifying event, woven into their oral traditions as a sign of great change and upheaval. For the American settlers, it was a test of their resilience and a stark reminder of the untamable power of the natural world. In the immediate aftermath, there was chaos, with communication lines virtually non-existent. News of the disaster traveled slowly. Many in the eastern states simply couldn't comprehend the scale of the destruction described in the few letters that made it out. The New Madrid sequence wasn't just a series of quakes, it was a geological event that reshaped a continent and left an indelible mark on the American psyche. It proved that catastrophic earthquakes were not confined to distant, mountainous coastlines. They could happen right here, in the heartland, today. The New Madrid seismic zone remains active. Small tremors are recorded frequently, a constant reminder of the immense power sleeping just beneath the surface. Geologists and seismologists study the zone intensely, using modern technology to understand its complex fault system and predict its future behavior. The question is not if another major earthquake will strike this region, but when. Millions of people now live in the area once shaken to its core. Cities like Memphis, Tennessee, and St. Louis, Missouri, lie within the zone of potential devastation. While the log cabins of 1811 have been replaced by steel and concrete, the threat remains just as real. The story of the New Madrid earthquakes is a dramatic chapter in Earth's natural history, a powerful tale of terror, survival, and transformation. It's a warning from the past, echoing through time, reminding us of the planet's restless energy and the need for preparedness in the face of its awesome power. Thank you for watching. If you found this journey into America's seismic past fascinating, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the powerful forces that shape our world. Stay curious.